You're smart, you're motivated, you want to do something big. You're on the verge of being a young boss, and we're going to help you get there. I'm your host, Isabel Barrino, and welcome to the Young Boss Podcast, where youth is your power. Do you see value in everything? This week's guest went from buying and flipping used cars and RVs out of his apartment complex to notching multi-million dollars worth of luxury motor coaches and RV sales. We talk about the importance of frugality and financial literacy in business, adapting to market conditions and taking advantage of every market, to setting up shop on a county island to save taxes. I'm excited to introduce Zachary Booth, owner and founder of Camping Nation RVs. Let's dive in. Welcome to the show, Zachary.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited. I'm going to start with quick-fire questions. Okay, I've already been going at you hard before the show even started.
So you're very calming, so appreciate it.
Okay, how old are you?
Surprisingly, I am 37.
37. Okay, Pepsi or Coke?
Pepsi.
Taco or pizza?
Pizza.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Grow your business fast or slow?
It's a tough one, but I would say grow it fast.
Raise money or bootstrap?
So depending upon the business, I would bootstrap.
Okay.
My particular industry, keeping overhead down is very important.
Okay. Who's the most influential person in your life?
Probably my mother.
Ooh. Yeah. One book or podcast everybody needs to read or listen to?
So there's a really good podcast Lex Friedman does.
Okay.
If you ever heard of him. Book, I would definitely say The Bio of Elon Musk.
Oh.
By Walter Isaacson.
Okay.
It will definitely open your eyes up to business, and he's a pretty incredible guy.
Okay, I want to read that.
Definitely.
Describe your business in one word.
Freedom.
Freedom. Love that. What's your business's mission?
So our mission would be to reconnect families.
And tell us your business's name.
Is Camping Nation RVs.
Okay. Now that you're out of the quickfire,
right.
I love it. You did great. How did you get started in the RV industry? Tell me everything.
So, when I was in college, I was just like every other college student, I was broke. And I was trying to figure out how to generate income quickly, So I started realizing that everything had value.
Yeah.
Value in it. So I started researching this auction house called Sierra Auto Auction.
Okay.
And shout out to them. And so I started buying inventory through Sierra. We bought everything. We bought trucks. We bought RVs. We bought motorcycles. We fixed them, and we ended up selling them.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'd sell them back through the same auction we bought them from. And sometimes I'd have them, I'd have 4 or 5 units in my apartment complex, meeting people of all hours of the day, just selling the inventory. We realized that we had the most profit in RVs.
Okay.
We really started targeting that inventory, and it just blew up from there. It just took off from there.
Okay. So before you were in college?
Yep. So I joined the military after high school.
Thank you for your service.
Appreciate that. Went to college, and we were doing it through college, graduated, and then we opened up the dealership.
I love it. And now you sell all types of RVs.
Yep.
And from low end to high end to everything.
Exactly. Yeah, we sell the lower end travel trailers all the way up to the high end motor coaches and diesel pushers.
Yeah. Most people are coming to you because they're what? They're going to take a trip of a lifetime. They're trying to add a new toy in.
Oh, yeah.
They want to be, as I call it, chosen homeless and live in a van.
Exactly.
Why are they coming to you? All these reasons?
So all the above. Like a lot of these people are looking to find a home.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been huge, especially lately with rent being so high.
Right.
And real estate being so expensive. And then you're seeing a lot of people that have retired. And are looking to travel the country.
Okay.
So the fruits of their labor and get out there, adventure, explore, make memories. So we got a lot of different types of customers. It's never boring by any means.
Okay,
sure.
I love that, and you get to hear all of their stories. So.
We do all the time. It's exciting. It's exciting for us, and it's exciting for the customers too. It's a good experience.
I love it. Tell me, you said bootstrapping. So talk to me about. How did you fund this business?
Sure. So to be honest with you, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this or not, but I had student loan money.
Yeah.
And so I noticed that I could, be I could buy the books at a cheaper place. I had extra income, extra money for these student loans, and I took and said, let's just invest it in a company, and let's see how far we can go with that. And what we did is we just slowly built up, right? We bought this inventory and rolled it over.
Yeah.
Every bit of profits continued to flow back into the company over and over until you built up a nice nest egg. They'll try to get you to do flooring when you open up a dealership.
Yeah.
Flooring lines are just absolutely devastating, in my opinion, to any company.
Yeah.
You talk to these people in industry, and, it's about 50-50, I would say. People saying, take loans and not. I lean towards the other side and not taking the loan, because I just know how detrimental overhead can be when you're really trying to expand at a rapid rate. So yeah, bootstrap it if you can.
Okay.
Definitely.
So started small, all your profits, you put them back in.
And penny pinch like crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. When did you get to a point where you're like, oh, I actually have excess income now.
Sure.
I can take a paycheck.
Yeah, definitely. So like when we started hitting millions of dollars in sales, even then you always kind of have this feeling that like, this too shall pass, whether it's good or bad type deal. So even now, I'm constantly like, hey, we got to get sales up. We got to get sales up. We got to push. And I think if you have that in your mind to not get comfortable, I think you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's true. It's interesting that you said that, because I don't think anybody has come on and said that before. Even when you're doing well,
Sure.
You do feel, part of you feels like this isn't going to last forever.
Right.
I think it would be foolish to ride the wave and just be like, yeah, we're good now. This is the new norm. Exactly. But it is so true. Like, especially as a business owner, you are terrified that like, well, the next month could go back to what it was 5 years ago. We don't know.
You don't have any idea, and you speculate and you forecast.
Yeah.
And you look at interest rates, and you look at, just the zeitgeist of the country and what they're feeling and going through. But yeah, I mean, you got to prepare. You got to save for a rainy day.
Yeah.
As a business owner, you're not going to, first of all, you can't go out back and pull money off of a tree, right? And you can't really, I mean, I don't know. Some people can make phone calls, right? A lot of family and friends that have tons of money. But if you just think that the bridges, the ships are burned and you've got nothing to fall back on and you've got no phone call to make, you'll do all right. Yeah. You'll make it.
I like that. Yeah. Okay. I think that's true. Obviously your industry, I assume, is very impacted by the economy, and if things are good, if things are bad. And we talked, earlier before the show started about 2020. Talk to me about that. Do you watch what's happening in the world to kind of help predict and see trends of what you should be expecting in business?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you're not researching your own industry, you've done yourself a huge disservice, honestly. To your point, I mean, luxury items, the RV industry is one of the number one indicators for the economy.
Really?
In general, right? Yeah, it is. So like, if you see the economy stalling, and just kind of like what we talked about before, if you see things slowing, really analyze the business. Where can you pivot? Where can you stay more liquid? Like for us in particular, we had a ton of money in purchased inventory. During COVID, as horrible as it was, the RV industry went crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it was insane. And when we got out of COVID and things are starting to slow down, we really pivoted and decided we're going to go into a lot of consignments.
Okay.
And consignments, some people don't know what that is, but it's really like you're taking a unit in and selling it on behalf of a customer.
Okay.
So when you're thinking about overall investment and liability, you're really in a good position, because you have spent, other than overhead and other than the maintenance costs of getting that unit sold, you really don't have any concern, because you brought the unit in for a very low amount. You didn't spend, $250,000 on a motorhome that has a book value of $300.
Okay.
And you're praying that those values don't drop in 30 days, right? Yeah. So it's important to study the industry you're in, make sure you have a little bit of foresight, you can see where it's headed and try to plan for that.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we did that pretty successfully.
Yeah.
With the market stalling.
If you were to start another business, what would it be?
I'd probably get in the assisted living industry.
We talked about that with your dad too.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, well maybe we'll talk more. I like it.
Absolutely.
What do you think, like, are certain markets better? We talked about how Arizona is a great market for this.
Yes.
Are there certain markets you wouldn't go into?
That's a good question. I think like RVs, travel, camping is really integrated into American culture.
Yeah.
So really across, the whole country, there is a demand for RVs.
Yeah.
Now, Arizona, Florida, a lot of the states up the West Coast is really strong.
Okay.
We're strong because we have a really big population of retirees.
Yep.
These people have worked their butts off and they're ready to spend some money.
Yep.
They're ready to travel the country and make memories.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
Talk to me about connecting families, because I thought that was so cool that you said that. And one of my my thoughts to you was, did you RV as a kid?
Yeah.
Because we never did. And my dad always said, how fun would it be to get an RV and travel? And we were like, no, Dad. We thought that was terrible as kids, right?
Yeah.
Because you see these like silly movies of like the dad forcing the kids to take the vacation or whatever. But it truly is always the movies at the end.
Yep.
The kids are having fun. The family's connected.
Oh, sure. Yeah. It's really important. I mean, that's one of the most rewarding parts of being in this business.
Yeah.
Is because, everyone's on an iPad, a phone, laptop, TV.
Yep.
And really when you get out there, and nowadays it's kind of glamping, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we were in a pop tent. We were in a tent even.
Okay.
A little different story than some of the stuff we're selling nowadays. But the families that get out and they travel and they go to Yellowstone and they go to these really remarkable places.
Yeah.
And they get time with one another. And they build a fire and they do s'mores and it's really incredible.
Yeah.
You just almost see a soul rejuvenating time. And that's really cool to know that they're about to take those adventures and they're excited about it.
I love that. Do you know, can you share like a specific story of a customer that you dealt with where like maybe they even followed up with you and told you about things?
I'll do one better. I'll share a story of me, all my brothers, and my mom. So we went to Yellowstone. I know I talk about Yellowstone a lot. And we had 2 dogs. I don't know if you know a pop tent, but a pop tent is very small.
Okay.
It's about the size of a tent, really. You
Okay.
have 2 beds that slide out on each side. So it's about 40 degrees. There's 5 people in this thing. 2 big dogs.
Okay.
You could barely move,
Yeah.
right? It's freezing cold.
Yeah.
And it's just, there's something about that memory that I will always have of being pretty uncomfortable, probably stunk. Who knows? But it's just an incredible memory that I know I wish more families would just give it a shot.
Yeah.
I wish they would share that because there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
There's nothing like being that close with your family.
Yeah.
And I mean, up for a long, long period of time, obviously. But yeah, it's pretty good.
I love it. That's beautiful. What's one of the most challenging aspects of being a business owner?
Oh man, we could sit here for a couple hours on
know.
this. I think the most challenging aspects of being a business owner is making sure you have the tenacity and perseverance at times to push through. When you are completely depleted, when your employees are not firing on all cylinders, when your customers are not firing on all cylinders, and honestly, when you aren't. If you don't have the mental clarity, if you don't recharge your batteries, you're at the forefront, right? Buck stops with you. So you need to take responsibility that if something goes wrong, you didn't communicate that with your staff.
Yep.
You didn't communicate that with the customer. You didn't shoot them straight.
Yeah.
I think that's it. High emotional IQ, you need to be in tune with people.
Yeah.
Because people are very, we all have emotions.
Yeah.
And you want to understand them, you want to see them, you want to respond to them as best you can. Because if morale is high, if people are motivated and people want to be there to grow with you, you will see outstanding results.
Yeah.
The moment that you let that get out of sight,
Yeah.
mind, you really can start to see a detriment to your business.
That's right. I feel like that's really true. How many employees do you have?
So I have 12 employees currently, and then we subcontract.
Wow.
And a few transporters.
Wow. That's awesome. It is constant pressure and responsibility. And I like that you said that word, because it is true. It's always a lot coming in to you at the top. And I think that taking accountability for when things go wrong is so huge. And I know that can be one of the hardest parts of just dealing with people and dealing with business. Is a lot of business owners are like, oh, it's their fault. They didn't know this or that. And I think that was really cool of you to say that, because it's so... It does come down to the EQ of it all. Like, the more in touch you are with, just at the end of the day, they're doing their best to please you. Like,
they are. A lot of times they are. And they need you.
They need you.
Yep.
Just as much as you need them.
Absolutely.
It's symbiotic in that way. So
it is.
Okay. How, let's talk about setbacks and advice maybe that you would give to entrepreneurs who are dealing with failure in business or struggles in business, because as you know, we all fail sometimes.
Oh yeah.
So what advice would you give to somebody how to recover from different setbacks?
I would say to obviously compartmentalize what you have got going on.
Yeah.
Take one thing at a time, and always go back to this too shall pass. And we kind of talked about that earlier, in the good times, in the bad times, this too shall pass. And if you remind yourself of that, if you remind yourself that you're going to get through this, stay focused, keep pushing, have a Spartan-like mindset, I think,
Yep.
And remember your why. Why are you doing this? Is it for your family? Is it to show everyone you went to high school with that you're successful, you did well? I mean, there's all sorts of whys, right? But if you can remember what that why is, if you can remember, for me, it's my family, right? I have to provide for my family. That's my job. You'll do fine. You just keep getting back to that why. Stay focused on one thing at a time. Solve each problem. Don't let it overwhelm you. Take a deep breath. Just keep hard charging. You'll be all right.
I like it.
Hey everyone, I want to share something that has truly changed my charging game. It's the 360 electrical. When I got this cord, oh my goodness, you guys, I'm always in need of a quick charge, whether I'm on the go in the car or at the airport. I want to be able to plug it in and 15 minutes later be on full battery, and that's exactly what this has done for me. It delivers 240 watts of ultra fast charging, so you're back to full battery in no time. It is perfect for those last-minute travel emergencies. It's got a super long cord and it doesn't fray. It keeps everything nice and tidy, super easy to travel with, take with you on the road. So if you want to grab yours today, head to 360electrical.com and use promo code YoungBoss for 20% off your order. Now, back to the show.
Tell me about a mistake or failure you've had in business.
The worst one, probably, if I wanted to get specific, we didn't know what the industry was going to do during COVID.
Yeah.
So, hindsight is 20/20.
Yeah.
It's really easy to say what I would have done back then. And we would have probably bought a ton
more
of inventory. Yeah. It was a hard time, and it was awful, for the country. But the different industries that were positively affected, they did really well. And if I'd had more inventory, we could have sold more inventory. Because people weren't flying, people were traveling the country with one another.
Yeah.
That was the safest form
of
traveling. So yeah, we would have bulked up. We would have highly invested more money, and came out of the gate swinging.
When I think of your industry, I just think of so many fun, creative ways that you could market this.
Yeah.
Because you're selling a dream. You're selling this vision of who they can be, and you're selling freedom, and you're selling, yes, it's a tangible, but you're really selling an intangible.
You're getting me all excited now. You're motivating me.
It is so true. I'm just like, the marketing could be endless. So talk to me.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
Talk to me about marketing, and what are some of the strategies that you like or that haven't worked for you too, maybe.
So this is, marketing, we've spent a lot of money in marketing, but we haven't been as creative as I would have liked to have been. Putting more time in, imagining these really unique, like you're saying.
Yeah.
Because it is. We're selling a dream. We're selling freedom. We're selling, families reconnecting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's so many avenues that you could take this industry to. And no, I mean, you're actually just sitting here getting me excited about the possibilities of where we could take it.
Yes.
And no, definitely. We've invested highly in the normal stuff. We've highly invested in, Google Ads, website, getting as many people to see the company and the website as possible. Even Facebook Marketplace has been surprisingly effective for our industry. But yeah, we need to spend more money on more unique forms of advertising, definitely.
I think I just see so many possibilities. And with social, really there's accounts that you follow that make like the travel lifestyle look so fun.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I think that there's a huge play, like we talked about in the beginning, with real estate being so expensive these days.
It's crazy.
People can't even afford homes. Okay, great. Yes, your product is still very expensive, but they may be able to afford that with some financing or whatever the case is. Mm-hmm. Now they're still able to own something. They're able to have freedom and travel with work from home jobs. It's like you're painting this lifestyle of, you can't have this, pivot. This is what you can have. This is achievable.
What are you doing after this, by the way? You want to talk more about this? No, I agree. I agree 100%.
I just think it's so cool.
It is. It's very exciting. And yeah, there's a whole new way of looking at this industry now that we've seen technology advance with AI and everything else. I think we could really target a younger customer base too. The millennials are, loving this lifestyle just as much as the retirees.
Right.
So why not pick them up with just a different type of marketing?
Yep. I think so. Definitely. Okay, we'll talk.
Okay. Look forward to it.
What's one of the best pieces of advice you've ever received about business?
I kind of got a lot of my advice from just reading like crazy. There's these really incredible people throughout the ages, these historic people that have done these incredible things. And, I've really taken a lot of advice from, and I keep talking about him, but Elon Musk and how he's tackled his business and how he's, on the assembly line floor, sleeping there 24 hours a day, totally immersed, eating, sleeping, breathing his business. I think that is some of the best advice anyone can get in starting a business is make sure you are mentally prepared to handle it. Make sure you are mentally prepared, or you're cut from that cloth too, because a lot of people will know pretty quickly. If they want to clock out at 5 o'clock and go home, and you want to sit on the couch and you don't want a single phone call coming in, stay away from starting a business. This is you're never clocking out. You know what I mean? You're never getting away from it.
No.
It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you could add an 8th day, you would. You know what I mean? It's just make sure you're mentally. That would be the best advice I think I've probably gotten throughout the years, is always be mentally prepared for where you're going. And it's gonna get harder.
Were your parents entrepreneurs?
Yeah. Both parents were.
That's cool. They're proud of you. Obviously, do any of your siblings also do entrepreneurial things?
So my siblings, I think they've taken the road of just working.
They're
not really focused on family, which is great. They do very successful. They do well. But I'm pretty much, I think, the only one in my family as of now that has taken that road. My grandfather was also in business. Highly respected him.
That's so cool.
Had good influence on me.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, triple down the line, and now your kids, would you be fine if one of your kids was like, okay, Dad, I want to start a business? I
would love that. Now, you look at your children, you're a fighter, you're going to get it done. Their lives are a little easier. You know what I mean? Their lives are a little, I got something to fall back on. When, you do your best to instill that fight in them. So, it's interesting to look at the dynamic and what really creates people that run businesses. Winners, A-types, self-starters. Is that nature? Is that nurture?
Do you think it's going to shift for the younger generation?
I'm concerned, honestly. Every older generation is concerned for the younger generation, right?
Yes.
I'm concerned. Yeah. I mean, I hate to throw out that word entitlement.
Yeah.
I do. I don't want to call anyone entitled. It's probably offensive, but it's true. There's a lot of entitlement. There's a lot of, hey, I just started and I want to make $500K a year.
Yep.
Now.
Yep.
And I worry for them in that aspect. But hopefully, as they get older, mature, and realize it's going to take a little more.
Yeah.
That, the baton's getting passed down to people that are ready for it.
It is actually shocking. A lot of the young people on my team, the younger people on my team, they'll come in and they'll, basically demand these salaries that I'm like, what?
Excuse me?
I worked 7 years to get that. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
That's your starting base. And there with zero experience, with zero anything. And it's just well, that's what I need. And it's okay.
Well, we'll talk soon. We'll follow back.
It's shocking.
It is.
It is shocking. But I do think about that because there's just so many different core values of all of the generations that have gone on. And I feel like we were raised by obviously those who are older than us, and they had more of a suck it up, get it done.
Absolutely.
And so we still have a little bit of that in us. And now the generations coming after us, they do not have that at all.
I don't.
There is no message of suck it up. It is much more of a message of, oh, you're having a rough day, go take a break.
Yep.
And so it's very different because I do wonder how many of them are going to want to start their own thing or want to take action and be different and not work for the man. Or is everybody who is going to be the standout?
Yep.
Is it going to be about skill or is it going to be for us where it is the person who works the hardest in the room is usually that one who gets the reward?
Absolutely.
Is that going to stand true or are we going to see things change? I don't know.
You make a really good point. We shall see.
We will see.
It's very concerning, that's for sure.
Yeah, and we do sound old, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because I think about this, I'm like, this is what they said about us. We got called the entitled generation.
And we stepped up. So there's hope.
There's hope.
There's hope.
There is hope. There's always hope. Okay, so as a business owner and obviously this show being called Young Boss and the people listening, being younger, you were starting right in college. So you've been doing this a long time, but you started really young. Yeah. Has youth been a pro or a con for you in business?
So it's been a pro in the fact that I had a lot of energy to handle and to continue to keep moving and to work long hours. Yeah. Now, I'm 37 now and I know I look very young. So you imagine at 22, convincing someone, with customers, you have to convince them to give you large sums of money to trust you that your product is what they meet to high standard, what they want. Yeah. So you really have to convince them. You have to go the extra mile being young. To really resonate with your buyer, resonate with your customer base, to prove to them that you are worthy of their business and your product is also worthy of their business. Yeah. So it's important to really focus a lot of energy and time in connecting with your customers as a young boss. We're like someone that's been around for 30 years who is peppered gray and white hair and looks, more refined, I'll call it, and experienced. They're probably going to trust them a little easier. Yeah. They're going to trust them that they know they've been around to get the job done. Yeah. Where you're new. Yeah. You're going to have to fight for it a little bit harder. You're going to have to persuade a little more. Yeah. For sure. When you get employees who are younger, do you sometimes have to have that conversation like, oh, we can't use that slang or we can't do this. Yeah. Oh, definitely. So I'll be the first to say I do hire a lot of older people. Oh, really? Yeah. My employees, because, it's smart business too, because a lot of our customers you want to match are older. Yeah. So, but I do, the younger generation, I've struggled with relaying that message as best I can that, unfortunately, it's not going to be handed to you. You're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to put a little more effort in. But it's okay because you have all this time to develop these wonderful skills. Yeah. And if you are motivated and you're interested in it, the sky's the limit, right? You have time. The most valuable resource to ever exist is time. Yep. So hopefully they take that and run with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm the first to say I do hire a lot of the older generation. I get along with them a lot better, to be honest with you.
How has that been? Your first hire, were they older than you?
Oh yeah.
Did they take you serious?
So I always joked, like, respect your elders, right? And I do, very much so. But as soon as they open that door to come into the office, I have a vision. But, you know, I want my employees to also respect the leadership that I have in place, right?
Yeah.
This isn't just a currency exchange anymore.
Yeah.
People work, 40 hours for you and you hand them money like you used to.
Yeah.
They need so much more from you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
They need you to motivate them, inspire them, make them feel good about themselves. Mm-hmm. So I always wanted to make sure that, I was a good leader and they respected me to work for me as well. That, you want to pay a fair wage too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's huge. And it's really interesting that you're saying that you're hearing that that's true even from hiring people who are older than you, because I feel like I hear that a lot about when you hire younger people. This isn't a paycheck. You've got to emotionally fulfill them and this and that. But you're saying, no, it's true. No matter the age of anyone you hire,
yep,
you just have to do this with everyone these days.
People just want to be seen.
Yeah.
They want to feel like they are part of something, and once they feel that, they will work harder for you. They'll be more honest with you. And that all leads to the golden egg, in my opinion, of more profits. Mm-hmm. The more revenue you have, the more, you want to talk trickle-down economics or whatever, but the more you can give to your employees, the more you can expand. There's endless possibilities at that point.
Yeah.
But it all is it's a system that's very fragile.
Yeah.
And with your foresight, you can really get it lined up.
Yeah.
And that's kind of being a business owner, as hard as it is, it's really it's kind of a powerful feeling when, as an owner, you can kind of line everything up and it works.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, put all those pieces in place, and then I get money out of it. This is great. This is a win-win,
Yes, I love that. Okay, how do you find fulfillment in giving back through your business? And what are some of the ways that you guys strive to make an impact?
Sure. So we get a lot of fulfillment in knowing that our product is reconnecting families, like we said before. We get a lot of fulfillment in making sure that retiree that has worked so hard is now going to travel. They're going to make these wonderful memories. They're retiring.
Yeah.
They worked so hard to get here, and they're buying something from me to go and do that.
Yeah.
And we also get a lot of fulfillment in donating, to charities. We make sure that, our employees are taken care of. You're not just taking care of an employee that works for you. There's families involved. There's children involved. They're depending on that, Friday afternoon, Friday morning paycheck, because they have bills to pay.
Yeah.
So that's fulfilling as well.
I love that. I think it is true. Like, people don't talk about that enough, that like even just paying your employees, like, it's not always, we donate $1 million to charity. Sometimes it's just, no, I know that I'm letting this family, thrive and have the income that they need to send their kids to school and buy food and do this in an economy where people are working multiple jobs just to be able to do that.
Absolutely.
That is fulfilling in and of itself. So
100%.
I love that.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in like 5 years with the business?
I got my sights set pretty high.
You want to scale?
Yeah, okay. I want to scale. I would like to have, 5 years now.
Yeah.
Whew. 5 years, I got a lot of work to do, but I want to have multiple locations across the West Coast.
Okay.
I want to start spanning out across the East Coast.
Okay.
I would like to see service and labor increase.
Okay.
I would like to see the consignment side increase, new lines.
Okay.
I really want to go full throttle and expanding. Obviously, we need to be smart, right? We need to keep an eye on what the market's going to do. We've had a pretty good economy for a while now, of things thriving. But it's definitely, I'm ready. I'd love to go public one day. I would love to beat out Camping World.
I love it.
We're not Camping World. We are Camping Nation. Just remember that. But no, sky's the limit, honestly.
Okay.
I'm ready. I'm excited for the future of Camping Nation RVs.
I love it. What does being a young boss mean to you?
It means being able to shape your future. It means taking hold of your future and really going after it and not letting anyone tell you the direction of your life. It means, what's the saying? I'm the captain of my fate and the master of my soul. I'm sure you've heard that a million times, but I truly believe in that.
Yeah.
And it means, like I said, the sky's the limit. You can do anything if you set your mind to it.
I love it. Okay, so the business is located on a county island. Is that a benefit to you, to the buyers? Tell me about that.
So really it's more targeted towards benefiting the buyer in reality, because the sales tax in Arizona, and it changes in multiple areas, obviously. I would just say it's approximately 9%.
Okay.
When you come to our county island, it's about 6%.
Wow.
So say you just buy a $300,000 motorhome. I mean, 3%.
That's a lot.
It's close to $9,000. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That you can save. So it's huge.
Did you know that going in?
We did see that, we were on county island. We went ahead to get the 5 acres for the property we're at now. But the area too is kind of a local hometown feel. So not only you feel like you're saving some money, but it's a local hometown dealership feeling when you get in there.
Okay.
A little Wild West to it,
Okay.
So you're getting multiple.
So it was good for the brand too.
I think so. Yeah.
It was a strategic brand move. I love
Definitely.
it. What are 3 tactical tips that you would give for anybody interested in entrepreneurship or in your industry?
Sure. So if anyone is interested in being their own boss, I would say really research the industry you're getting into, number one.
Yeah.
I mean, spend a lot of time knowing the ins and outs of that industry before you just jump in. I mean, I'll be honest, we went in full steam, and there was a lot of things that we could have researched prior to that would have saved us some money and would have benefited us a little earlier.
Okay.
Number 2, make sure that tactically you are mentally ready for it, right? If you are still a little wishy-washy on if you want to invest in this particular industry wholeheartedly, then don't do it.
Yeah.
Right? You got to be ready.
Yep.
You got to be completely ready. And also, I know too that there's a lot of areas that a business is going to have to seek outside professional help, whether that's accounting, marketing, anything. So if you can take a look at, okay, I'm going to hire this accountant.
Yeah.
Maybe I should take an accounting class. Maybe I should research the tax code in this particular industry to see where I'm going to save money.
Yeah.
Because when you get bit, the first time you get bit in business and you write that $500,000 check to the IRS, it's very hard. And your accountant's going to tell you, nope, this is it. And you're going to go, what?
How could it be?
How is this possible?
Yeah.
It'd be nice to know more than your accountant.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
But those would be the 3 tactical steps that I would really take before starting any business at all.
I love it. Where do people find you or hear more about the business?
So you can find us at our website, www.campingnationrvs.com.
Okay.
We are in East Mesa. We do have social media, Facebook, Instagram. You can reach us at the main office line is 602-376-7778. I would love for anyone that is interested in an RV to come by and see us.
I
mean
love
a
it.
lot.
Go check it out. Okay. And thanks for listening to another episode of Young Boss with Isabel Garino. Be sure to like, share, and follow on Instagram and TikTok, and subscribe wherever you like to listen to your podcast. And let us know, are you interested in the RV world? Having that freedom sounds like a whole lot of fun. Remember, youth is your power.